we're back with this 2010 Land Rover Defender Puma. It's a 2.4 model this, and what's happening here is the dips and brights are not working. In fact, the dips and brights are working, but when you flash your brights, they don't flash. So the problem with that is you can't greet other Land Rovers that easily. And you know this, you're supposed to wave. That's the Land Rover wave, please note. Ownership of any Land Rover vehicle requires a driver to observe the mandatory waving policy. Wave and smile to all passing Land Rovers. Use your right hand for a well-visible salutation while maintaining a broad smile in the general direction of the passing Land Rover vehicle. So, we have to make sure we don't always wave. Maybe we can just flash lights, and so we have to make sure these lights are working. So if we flash, nothing happens. Put the lights on here, 2 clicks, headlights on, nothing happens. We go to brights, there they come on. Let's turn this down. So the brights are working, but the flash feature is not. That's our problem. So I've got a new switch and we're going to change it. Right, first thing we have to do is to take this thing off the steering. There's the nut. Loosen that nut. Let me just give it a tap. That's the steering off. Now what we're going to do is loosen the 4 screws underneath here and take this cover apart. So we've got the screws out. There's actually 6 screws, and then this bottom piece just comes off. That screw's not out properly. The last screw. Let's get that out. And that's come off. And the top one should just come off because it's now loose. Got this little black coolant monitor here, so I don't want to damage the wires to that. So that's all off now, and now we can take this whole thing off. I'm going to just open up the new one. Right, so that's the new part there. So we can see this whole metal surround needs to come off. But on this side here, this unit here for the wipers, that must be replaced, must stay behind. And the on-off switch also is going to stay. So I'm going to take this, the windscreen, the wiper mechanism off. Looks like it's a size 6. Just got this T-bar. Take that off there. Let me get that off quickly. Right, I had to get this little clip off here as well. It was a little bit of a wrestle and a wriggle, but it's off. So that whole thing is free now. What I didn't mention, obviously, is to disconnect the battery, because at the back here you can see there's some exposed connections, and you don't want to go and touch that against something that's earthed. Okay, so it looks like this whole lot can just slide off. And that screw over there is the one that we can loosen, and then this whole lot should just come away. I just want to check the wires on the other side. Okay, so I've got that screw out there, and now we're going to unplug the wires. So it's just this plug over here that we need to unplug, that one there, and then it should all just fit together. So this should be loose. Yep, all loose. Just like it slips off, and let's open up that plug. Right, so we've got that plug apart. Now what we need to do is we need to take the light switch on off section, the small toggle. Need to take that off this bracket and mount that onto the new. Right, so there the switch is off. It's got a little lock nut there. that you need to just loosen, and then the switch slips out through that little slot there. So I'm going to bring the new switch in now. Right, so we got the whole new one on, and screw back in there. This whole column must go right on to tighten it up. It almost feels like it doesn't want to go on, but it does fit. Just push it on carefully. Everything's set up. Yeah, power back on. And I've got the battery isolator off. Again, this Land has a battery isolator down there, so we'll just flip that on and then we'll give it a test. So there, it's back on. Let's see what happens. We give it a flash, and you can see there we are flashing, so we can say hi. So all I'm going to do now is put everything back and we are done. Thanks so much guys for watching.